Have you ever found yourself talking about a problem or situation over and over again, only to realize that nothing is changing? Perhaps you've even caught yourself wishing you could make more of a difference. Or maybe you've thought, if only I had the time or energy to actually do something about it. It's a feeling many of us experience, especially as we get older. The difference between talking and doing seems to widen, doesn't it? But here's a little secret. There's more power in doing than in talking. The old saying, talk less, do more, holds incredible value, especially as we get older. You may be thinking, what does that even mean for me? Well, it's simple. It's about shifting from endless conversation to focused action. Instead of spending your energy on just talking about what you want to do, how about channeling that energy into actually doing it? You might be surprised at how much more fulfilling life becomes when you decide to act rather than talk. In this video, we're going to dive into why talk less, do more is a powerful mantra for anyone, especially those of us in our later years. We'll explore how to replace talk with action and why it's such a game changer in our lives. Along the way, we'll share some practical steps to help you start making positive changes without the need for big speeches or plans. Let's start with something simple, the power of setting goals. The first step in talking less and doing more is to set clear goals for yourself. Now, I'm not talking about vague dreams or wishes. I'm talking about real, achievable goals that you can work towards each day. It's easy to say, I want to get healthier, but that's not specific enough to turn into action. So, let's break it down. Think about something that matters to you. Maybe it's improving your fitness, learning a new hobby, or organizing your home. Whatever it is, turn that broad wish into something actionable. For example, if you want to get healthier, your goal could be, I will walk for 20 minutes every day. Simple, clear, and specific. Once you've set that goal, here's where the magic happens. You have to do it. That's right. No more overthinking or over-talking about your plans. Action is where the progress is made. You see, the secret to success isn't found in endless planning or making promises to others. It's found in showing up and doing the work, even when it feels hard or uncomfortable. For instance, if you've decided to walk every day, you don't need to spend hours talking about how great it's going to be. Just put on your shoes and step outside. The act of doing will give you the momentum you need. Each day, you'll get closer to your goal, not because you talked about it, but because you took that first step and kept going. And believe me, once you start seeing results, you'll feel even more motivated to continue. Now let's talk about something that often stands in our way: fear of failure. It's natural to feel a bit hesitant when starting something new, especially when it feels like a big change. But the truth is, you don't have to be perfect to take action. In fact, trying to be perfect is often what keeps us stuck. It's the fear of making a mistake or not doing something right that causes us to talk about our plans for ages without ever taking action. Here's the thing. Mistakes are a part of the process. If you try something and it doesn't work out, that's not a failure. It's an opportunity to learn. For example, if you're trying to improve your health and you miss a day of walking, don't beat yourself up about it. Instead, acknowledge it and then just get back to it the next day. The key is to keep going, even if things aren't perfect. Taking action means embracing the process, not just focusing on the outcome. So, if fear is holding you back from acting, remember this. The longer you stay in the planning phase, the longer it takes for you to see real change. Don't let fear of failure paralyze you. Instead, let it fuel you to take that first step. Start small, take one action, and build from there. You'll find that once you stop talking about it and start doing it, that fear fades away. Now that we've covered the importance of setting clear goals and overcoming fear of failure, let's move on to another crucial step: creating a daily routine that helps you take consistent action. To create that daily routine, you need to make sure you're setting aside time for action. It's easy to talk about how you'll do things someday or next week, But without a clear plan, those days just slip away, don't they? That's why it's so important to weave action into your daily life, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. A routine gives structure and consistency to your intentions. Let's say you've decided that getting healthier is your main goal. So, you set aside 20 minutes in the morning to walk. It could be before breakfast, or maybe after your morning coffee. Whatever time works best for you, just make it a non-negotiable part of your day. The more you stick to this routine, the more it becomes a habit, and the less you need to talk about your intentions because they've become part of your daily life. This doesn't mean you have to plan every moment of your day down to the second, but having a few key activities that are part of your routine can really help you stay on track. Whether it's walking, reading, gardening, or doing light stretches, set aside time each day for those things that matter to you. But there's another aspect to creating this routine that's often overlooked. Don't overcomplicate it. Sometimes we think that a routine has to be perfect, and that can actually stop us from taking action altogether. You don't need to have a strict exercise program or an elaborate schedule for learning a new skill. Start with small, manageable actions that you can actually follow through on. Maybe it's just reading one chapter of a book a day or practicing an instrument for 10 minutes. The key is to take that simple action every day, and the rest will naturally follow. By creating a daily routine, you are setting yourself up for success in a way that makes it much easier to actually do things rather than just talk about them. This way, each day becomes another opportunity to move closer to your goal, and before you know it, those small actions will add up to something significant. And remember, it's not about making grand changes overnight. It's about creating a consistent rhythm of action that slowly but surely propels you toward your goal. Over time, these small changes compound, and you'll find yourself achieving more than you ever thought possible, without the need to endlessly discuss your plans or wonder why things aren't happening. So we've talked about setting clear goals and overcoming fear of failure. We've discussed how creating a daily routine can make your actions more consistent. Now, let's dive into another important element: accountability. When we talk about something, it's easy to feel like we've already accomplished something. But let's face it, saying you'll do something is far from the same as actually doing it. That's where accountability comes in. Having someone, or even a group, to share your progress with can make a big difference. It's not about pressure, it's about encouragement and support. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or even an online group, having someone to check in with keeps you motivated to follow through. It's amazing how much more likely we are to take action when we know someone else is rooting for us. For example, if you're aiming to take a walk every day, telling a friend about your goal gives you that little extra push. They might even want to join you or simply ask how your walks are going. Knowing that someone else is aware of your goal can create a sense of responsibility that helps you stay on track. This isn't about feeling pressured. It's about feeling supported. Accountability doesn't have to come from a person, though. You can also use tools like apps or journals to track your progress. These tools can serve as your personal reminder that you're doing the work, even when no one else is watching. The important thing is that you're not just talking about your goals, but you're actively working toward them, and tracking your progress helps you stay on that path. So far, we've talked about setting clear goals, overcoming fear, creating a daily routine, and finding accountability. These are all key steps to stop talking about your intentions and start taking real, tangible action. But there's one more important thing to remember. Be patient with yourself. We often get discouraged when we don't see immediate results. It's easy to think, I've been walking for a week, but nothing's changing. Or, I've been trying to learn this new skill, and I'm not seeing progress. But remember, this journey isn't about instant gratification. It's about consistent action over time. Results will come, but they often take longer than we expect. That's why it's so important to keep going, even when it feels like nothing's changing. In the next part of the video, we'll explore how to handle setbacks and how to keep pushing forward, even when things don't go as planned. But for now, Just remember, as long as you're taking action and staying consistent, you're on the right track. You're already doing more than most people who only talk about their dreams and goals. Let's take a moment to reflect. What's one small action you can take today? What's something simple that you've been talking about, but haven't done yet? Just pick one thing and take that first step. You might be surprised at how much progress you can make when you start focusing on doing rather than talking. A mini. Now that we've covered the importance of setting goals, overcoming fear, creating a routine, and building accountability, let's dive into handling setbacks. This is where many of us tend to stumble. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to fall back into the cycle of just talking about what we want to do, rather than actually doing it. But setbacks are a part of life, especially when you're working towards something meaningful. They don't mean you've failed. They simply mean you've encountered an obstacle that's part of the journey. Think about it like this. When you were learning to walk as a child, you didn't just fall down once and say, "Well, I guess walking is not for me." No, you got up, tried again, and kept going until it became second nature. It's the same principle when you're working on any goal at any age. Setbacks don't mean you should quit. They just mean you need to adjust, learn, and move forward. Let's say you've been trying to walk every day, but one day you wake up feeling exhausted or something comes up that prevents you from going out. It's easy to let that one missed day turn into 2, 3, or more. But instead of letting guilt or frustration take over, remind yourself that it's okay. This isn't a failure. It's simply part of the process. Acknowledge it and then get back to it the next day. The key is not letting that setback stop you from continuing your progress. When setbacks happen, it's essential to have a mindset shift. Instead of seeing them as roadblocks, see them as learning opportunities. What can you learn from this experience? Maybe you realize that the time you've been setting aside for your walk needs to be adjusted. Maybe you need to start a little slower, or maybe you need to find a new walking route that's more enjoyable. The most important thing is to not get stuck in the setback. Keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. And here's something that can really help. Celebrate your small wins. It's easy to focus on the big goal and forget to acknowledge the small victories along the way. But it's the small steps that ultimately lead to bigger accomplishments. Whether it's walking for 10 minutes, sticking to your routine for a week, or even just showing up when you didn't feel like it, those are victories that deserve recognition. The next thing we need to address is the idea of self-doubt. As we get older, we sometimes question whether we can really achieve new things. You might wonder, am I too old to start something new? Is it too late to make a change? The answer is a resounding no. It's never too late to do more, to improve yourself, or to chase after something you care about. But the key is to push through that self-doubt. Here's a simple exercise that can help you overcome doubt. Every time you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," counter it with a positive affirmation. For example, "I am capable of making small changes that lead to big results." Saying it out loud, or even writing it down, can help rewire your brain to focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. Self-doubt is natural, but it doesn't have to control you. The more you take action, the more you build confidence. And the more confident you become, the easier it gets to push past those moments of uncertainty. It's a cycle that feeds into itself. Action builds confidence, and confidence fuels more action. So the next time you feel doubt creeping in, remember that action is the antidote. Now let's talk about how to stay motivated when things get tough. Staying motivated as you work toward your goals can be challenging, especially when the progress feels slow or when you encounter obstacles. But motivation doesn't always have to come from external sources. The real power comes from within. Find your why. Why is this goal important to you? Maybe it's to improve your health so you can enjoy more time with your family, or maybe it's to learn something new that gives you a sense of accomplishment. Whatever it is, connecting with your why will keep you going even when motivation starts to fade. On the days when it feels hard to get started, remind yourself of that deeper reason you're doing this. It can reignite the drive you need to keep moving forward. It also helps to break your big goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. If you've set a big goal for yourself, like walking for an hour every day, it might feel overwhelming at first. But what if you break it down into smaller chunks? Start with 10 minutes and then gradually increase it as you get comfortable. Small wins build momentum, and over time, you'll see progress without the pressure of feeling like you need to do everything at once. And don't forget about the power of routine. When things get tough, it's easy to make excuses to skip your actions. But when you've built a solid routine, it becomes a habit that's harder to break. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't think twice about it. You just do it because it's part of your day. The same can be true for any goal. The more you make it a part of your routine, the less you'll have to rely on motivation alone. As we wrap up this section, I want you to take a moment to think about one area of your life where you've been talking about doing something, but haven't taken action yet. Is there a goal you've been putting off because it feels daunting, or because you've been waiting for the perfect time? What if today you took one small step toward that goal? You don't have to talk about it anymore. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just take that first step and trust that the next steps will follow. In the final part of this video, we'll talk about how to keep up the momentum in the long run and how to maintain that sense of action in your everyday life. Remember, the power is in the doing. So let's keep moving forward, one step at a time. As we move into the final part of our conversation, I want to remind you of something very important. The process of taking action never truly ends. Once you begin, you'll notice that each step forward creates a new momentum, propelling you to keep going, even when things get tough. But maintaining that momentum over the long term is something that requires attention and patience. A big part of this is understanding that it's okay if things don't always go according to plan. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and sometimes you might find that your goals shift or that obstacles arise, and that's perfectly fine. It's not about being rigid in your plans. It's about staying adaptable and committed to the process of moving forward. One of the key things to keep in mind is that long-term success comes from persistence, not perfection. There will be times when you slip up or miss a day of action, and that's okay. What matters is that you don't let those moments derail your entire journey. The key is to stay consistent even when progress feels slow. Over time, these small actions will accumulate, and before you know it, you'll have made significant strides toward your goals. If you find that your energy or motivation is waning, it can be helpful to revisit your why. Remember why you started in the first place. Whether it's a personal health goal, learning a new skill, or simply improving your quality of life, keeping your core motivation at the forefront of your mind can reignite your passion. Remind yourself that the process is a journey, not a race. Celebrate the little wins along the way and give yourself credit for each step you take, no matter how small it may seem. Another way to maintain momentum is by revisiting your routine. Sometimes routines can become stale, and when that happens, we might feel like giving up. If you notice that your daily actions are starting to feel repetitive or uninspiring, it may be time to switch things up a bit. Try adding something new to your routine. Maybe a new walking route, a different time of day for your activities, or even setting new challenges for yourself. Variety can reinvigorate your drive and make your journey feel fresh and exciting again. In addition to switching up your routine, another powerful way to stay motivated is by seeking out new sources of inspiration. You don't have to rely solely on yourself for motivation. Surround yourself with positive influences, whether it's reading stories about others who have overcome challenges or connecting with a community of like-minded individuals. If you know someone who is on a similar path, talk to them and share your experiences. You might find that their insights or struggles resonate with you, and together you can keep pushing each other forward. Now, let's talk about celebrating your progress. We often focus so much on the end goal that we forget to appreciate how far we've come. It's easy to overlook the small wins, but every step you take matters. If you've stuck to your goal for a week, that's a victory. If you've learned something new, no matter how small, that's progress. Celebrate those moments. Treat yourself for staying on track and use that positive reinforcement to keep going. There's also something incredibly powerful about reflecting on how much you've achieved. Take time every now and then to look back and assess your journey. When you're caught up in the day-to-day actions, it can be hard to see the progress you've made. But when you take a step back, you'll realize that you're not the same person you were when you first started. You've grown, you've learned, and you've taken action to improve your life. That's worth celebrating. As we wrap up this conversation about the power of doing more and talking less, I want to leave you with this thought. No matter where you are in life, it's never too late to start. It's never too late to make changes, to take action, and to live the life you've always dreamed of. The key is to start where you are, with what you have, and to take that first step. From there, the possibilities are endless. Remember, each action you take, no matter how small, is a step toward a brighter, more fulfilling future. By talking less and doing more, you're setting yourself up for success, not just in the big moments, but in the quiet, everyday actions that make life truly meaningful. So, what's next for you? What action can you take today that will bring you one step closer to your goal? Maybe it's simply going for a walk, making a plan, or telling someone about your goal. Whatever it is, do it now. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is right now. Take that first step and keep going. You've got this. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiration and tips on how to live your best life at any age. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about the goals you're working on and how you're taking action every day. Here's to living your best life, one step at a time. Minnie, it looks like we've come to the end of our discussion on the power of doing more and talking less, and I hope you found some inspiration in the ideas shared today. But before you go, I want to leave you with a final, encouraging thought. As we get older, there's sometimes a temptation to slow down, to believe that we've already done enough, or that the energy it takes to start something new just isn't worth it anymore. But that's simply not true. Every day is an opportunity to take action, to move toward your goals, and to live a life full of purpose and fulfillment. It doesn't matter if you're starting something small or something big. The important thing is that you're doing it. And here's the beauty of it. You don't need to make massive, sweeping changes in order to feel a sense of accomplishment. Small steps, taken consistently, add up over time. So, if you feel overwhelmed by the thought of making a big change, just remember that even the tiniest actions are a step in the right direction. Whether it's making a phone call you've been putting off, taking 5 minutes to stretch in the morning, or even just smiling at a stranger, these little moments of action are the building blocks of a vibrant, meaningful life. Each of these actions reflects your commitment to living with intention, no matter your age. Now, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on your own journey. Think about the things you've been talking about doing but haven't quite started. It could be something as simple as organizing a room in your house, trying a new hobby, or getting a bit more active. Whatever it is, today is the day to take that first step. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start right now. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Reach out to others for support, share your goals, and be part of a community that lifts each other up. Whether it's friends, family, or even online groups, finding that sense of connection will help keep you motivated and accountable. Thank you for joining me today. I truly believe that with the power of action, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. You've got everything you need within you to live a rich, fulfilling life. So, let's make the choice to talk less and do more, starting right now. I'm so glad you took the time to watch this video, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments. If you've taken action on any of the advice shared here, please share it with me. I'd love to celebrate your wins with you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more, and share it with others who might need that extra nudge to take action. Here's to all the incredible things you're going to do. Live your best life one step at a time.